Alright, what's up everyone? Happy Friday. Today is November 27, 2020, and we're back again on the charts. Hope you guys had a good week. For the people in the US, it's a holiday. They have a 4-day weekend, so yesterday was a bank holiday because of Thanksgiving. Today is one as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed your feasts and you're still in tip-top shape enough to watch today's session. So this week, factoring in the 2-day holiday, it was a bit slow, but we got entry into our trades, and these are all trades that we can afford to hold over the weekend and for the time being, and we are very optimistic about them. So what we'll do is we'll start with the dollar index and then make our way through the trades we took this week, and then more importantly, prepare for next week. So the dollar index is perfect right now. It's turning bearish, very bearish actually, and maybe the monthly will show it better. When we talked about the election, we discussed that if Biden wins, we will have a bearish dollar to end the year, right? And if you look at the monthly candle, I mean, it doesn't get better than this. It's a nice inverted hammer, very, very big candle. And just looking at the monthly time frame, you can see the next target is all the way down here, the low we made back in February of 2018. We may, stop here, for example. That is a possibility at this low, which was created in September of 2017. But I think based on everything that's at play, we could come all the way down here, especially with how the monthly looks. So you can see before November, when the election occurred, there was a chance of us pushing back up, creating our new rally. We had a nice little bullish hammer candle, which should have taken us back up. But things like elections are very important, especially this one where the two candidates are complete opposites, especially with monetary policy, how they handled, the pandemic, all that jazz. And so I think our first target moving forward for the dollar index will be 91 flat, 91.00. If we can get down to even this level, the next target is 88.74, right around that area. It's a wide area, but I think that's a decent price point. So bearish for the dollar moving forward. We had a pretty bearish week as well. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, you'll see something. Price did, and it does this all the time. So we had this little support zone right here. Price broke it, came up, retested, rejected it, came to this last kind of line of defense, tried to do a rally. All it did was create a new lower high, and then now it's creating a new lower low, right? This is clean price action, and I'm happy to see it return to the dollar index. And we were going to see this after the election regardless of who won, just because you get a lot of the noise out of the way. You can see lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We may have a pullback back to the support to create a new lower high before we head lower. But going into next week, we are bearish on the dollar. And hopefully this activates our Euro USD and Aussie dollar trades, which we were waiting for all week. So we'll start with those. So Euro USD long, we want to clear this high before we go long. We're coming pretty close. We're roughly 13 pips away. It's a Friday, so obviously, there's no rush, but we want to at least clear this high. Ideally, we would love to clear this one before we actually go, into a full-fledged long, but it's good to see that the euro is done ranging, because it has been ranging for some time, just stuck in this kind of pattern. If you're a scalper, this is ideal conditions for you, but we like to, take intraday and swing trades. So once we cross 1.19650 next week, we can start looking at longs for the euro. Potential targets would be obviously this high up here, which we made back in August, and then it could really open up the way for some of these highs to the left. So for example, this would be a nice target as well, 1.21 right up here. And then if the dollar index goes really, really bearish and goes to maybe 89, then we can even target these highs up here. So It's nice to see that the euro is waking up. I was kind of getting annoyed with the constant ranging. Before the summer, or in the midst of the summer, we had a nice trend to the upside. Then from July onward, we were just stuck in a range, just ranging. There was no real trend here. We did have a potential sell-off, but we didn't clear a key level. We came back up, used that key level as support, and now we're attempting another rally. So next week, Euro longs, which we've been eyeing for a long time, may be back into play. The same goes for Aussie, which we actually wanted to enter this week, but it was just too slow. We can see our alert is right here. We're actually moments away from activating our alert. Our alert is at 0.74,000, and it just represents this high right here. So I think we almost touched it, maybe 1 pip away. So on Monday morning, we will have a fresh new outlook on Aussie dollar, but we are bullish for sure. Here's the monthly. You can see based off the monthly that it's time to go up, and we can start targeting, for example, these highs, and then finally this high up here. So we will most likely get entry into this. I'd be shocked if we don't. There is a possibility that price comes up to There's a possibility that price comes up to this high, uses it as resistance, and sells off. But based on how the dollar index is looking bearish, I think we will get a pushback up. Another thing important about next week is this NFP week. We will have December coming up on us. I mean, the months are just flying by. So if we look at the NFP results, let's quickly go to Wednesday and Friday. So Wednesday, we have ADP, the numbers. We're looking to add 500K jobs. Okay, so take that note. Powell is also testifying at 11 a.m. And then let's see the NFP numbers. So the forecast is 500K jobs to be added. Last month we added 638. Unemployment is set to actually go a bit lower. So overall, they're looking at a mixed, more so bullish bias for the NFP. And so that is something to take note of. Obviously, these are just forecasts, and they can be hit and miss most of the time. Let's just take a look. For the most part, the forecasts have been, the actual result have been better than the forecast. So we do have to take into consideration that, we may print a 0.5% unemployment rate, which will be obviously good for the dollar. So we'll see. That's obviously next Friday, so we have enough time to kind of wait it out and get some profit for our trades. But these type of forecasts can change, especially with a new president in the office, and it sounds more and more every day. It sounds like Trump's ready to concede. So we'll see how that works. But in terms of technicals, I think longs are the best option for Aussie and Euro. And we honestly wanted to get entry this week. We had an alert for quite some time, especially when we were down here. I really thought we were ready to launch up. But we spent, much of this week, this is where we opened. This is the push up on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, we didn't do anything. And this Friday morning, we're jumping back up with life. So that's how the week panned out. Now, these are the setups that we have taken entry into. The first is Euro NZD short, which is very nice. It's a swing trade, so we're holding this through the weekend. We have already hit TP1. We actually went as far as 50 pips. After TP1, I've already closed off half my position. And I have not moved stops to entry, so I have not because of the swing trade. And there is a chance we may do a retracement back to entry before we go lower. So I've just taken profits off, half my profits off. The remaining 50% position will be left open until the time being. So that's what I'll be doing personally, risking 1% per trade. I think this will head lower. The thought process here is that as the dollar becomes bearish, NZD USD, which is bullish already, will continue to go higher, and therefore Euro NZD will go lower. The other trade is for NZD CAD. We're bullish on the New Zealand dollar, and we're not shy about it. This is in some slight profit, but this is based on the higher time frame as well. So for weekly, you'll see this week's weekly candle is pretty nice bullish hammer. Here's the signal itself. Here's our first upside target, this resistance right here, and then next we have these highs all the way up here, this nice resistance area right here. So bullish on the NZD, bearish on the CAD. Technicals show us in an uptrend. We have a really nice 4.22 risk to ratio on this trade. We're risking 1% per trade, so I'm holding this over the weekend as well. And then we had an intraday trade for Cad Yen. Bless me. Here it is. Right, it's a nice short on the intraday. Very simple. We almost got stopped out, almost, but we've pulled back. We had a deep retrace for some reason, but by all means, we're still in this trade. This was probably going to be a trade that we're going to have to hold throughout the weekend. We have created a new lower high here, so following that price action for a sell-off, we did clear this nice low point, so I thought it would be a decent trade to enter. And so currently we're at around 13 pips of drawdown, which isn't bad. I mean, the stop loss for this trade was 30 pips, so it's not like we're holding, 60, 70 pip drawdown or anything. So we'll let this trade play out. It's a trade setup we take any time of the year, and that's kind of the way you will have to do things, is keep things consistent as much as you can. And then over time, the law of averages will favor out in your favor. So now that I've covered everything that I wanted to cover, if there's any pair recommendations for people on YouTube and Discord, let me know now. There is I think 10-15 second delay between what I say in YouTube, so I'll just give you guys some time and then we can move forward. Hey, Life Tabernacle Cape Town. Hey, from South Africa. Nice. We got people from South Africa on the stream. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kobe. Good morning, FX Pro. Okay, so BTC. A lot of people have been talking about BTC. So we'll start with BTC. Then I think we'll make our way back to Forex. No problem. I gave everyone a warning about BTC. Hopefully you guys took it. So this is our original trade idea for BTC. A perfect entry, zero drawdown. Our overall target was the all-time high of 19,852. We came very close to it, and earlier in the week, if you watch some of our older sessions, when we created this double top, I told people, now is the time to secure 90% of your profits or get out, because what can happen with a double top is, once you have a double top and you have this neckline here, if price breaks that neckline, that can initiate a huge sell-off. So if you take into consideration the entry we got, which is all the way over here, and how much we've gained, if you were not responsible and you did not take any profits, then you can only blame yourself, because after that double top, price completely melted. You would have actually gave up half of your gains. So if you haven't gone out yet, I mean, you still have a chance to do so, especially if you're trading this. If you're investing in BTC, it might be a different story, but I sold back some already. Obviously, if you're investing it for the long term, you're just holding it forever, I guess. But very important that you listen to the signs the charts give, even if you're value investing, because these tell you points in time where you can sell back some BTC, and then you can maybe buy back some BTC down here, and you can make twice the amount of profit, right? So for BTC, honestly, we ended off the week very bearish. If you look at the weekly candle, if you're a BTC hopeful, this is not a candle you want to see right here. A shooting star candle, very, very long wick to the top, smaller wick to the bottom. This is not a wick you want to see, especially near the all-time high, right over here, right? So if I were you, if I was me, I would personally, which I already done, but I would personally secure my profits and wait for BTC to either come back and break above the all-time high, or wait for it to visit all the way back to our entry point and then look for buy opportunities there. Because there is a chance we can sell off all the way down here. We can tumble all the way down to 13K, 13.8K. So just be careful in that sense, because this is not a nice indication. This is on the weekly time frame, so you have to take note that usually the weekly time frame is probably the best time frame to gauge the next segment or the next trend in play. And obviously the daily candle for the past 3 days we have been selling off. So just that's just my opinion. I think I was hopeful we'd hit the all-time high at least and then maybe sell off. but I guess price just didn't have enough juice to get up there, and that's where price is turning on us. So BTC, it's surprising because the dollar index is getting weaker, so theoretically BTC should be going higher, but we know correlations only go so far. The individual currency matters as well. So we'll see. I think over the weekend, BTC will complete a few more moves. On Monday morning, we'll have a better idea. But I wouldn't be shocked if we come back down to maybe 15K, even as far as back down to 13.8. So that's BTC right now. I'm just happy we got a nice entry, and we got 90% of the profit that we wanted to get, right? We had that last bit of 10%, which is fine. You're not going to get everything, especially in these market conditions. So that's that. And Ethereum, we'll take a look at Ethereum now. These YouTube ads, they're getting out of hand. I mean, Jesus, 2-3 ads at a time. All right, so Ethereum. I don't think I've given anything for Ethereum in quite some time, so let's take a look. Oh, yeah, so last time we talked about Ethereum, we gave a long from all the way down here, and this was our target point. So we did get up there. Ethereum tends to mimic BTC, so you can see this is almost identical, right? This push up, and then 3 days of selling, and then if you look at BTC, right, push up, 3 days of selling, it almost mimics each other. For Ethereum, let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, the monthly candle is not good at all. The weekly, yeah, you have a nice shooting star here as well. So, I'm still bullish on crypto. I do think now's the time for it to take advantage, but based on current price action, I have to wonder if we're being a bit too hopeful at the current moment in time. So Ethereum, for those that are trading it, I'd be very cautious, or those are looking to get into it, I'd be very what I do is I go to the daily and wait and see what we have right where we at this price point at 500, a nice psychological level. If we get signs of life at 500, then I may look to enter long again, because I know the dollar is going to get weaker as the days go on. But look for signs of life around 500, and what you can do is maybe attempt a long like this, where your stop loss is below this recent low right here. You target, this high, and then obviously, all these all-time highs all the way up here, right? That was our original target. That's at 14,000. So we got ways to go, but I guess in the short term, you can wait for signs of life on the daily time frame at 500, and then start targeting, 550, and then obviously 600, and then just make your way back up, because we're still in an uptrend. Despite this huge sell-off, we haven't cleared this higher low, we haven't cleared this higher low, we haven't cleared this higher low. So it's still an uptrend. Obviously, it's not a textbook uptrend where you have two opposite moves canceling each other out. But theoretically, it's still an uptrend, so I'm not giving up just yet. But look for a bullish hammer, bullish engulfing, a 3-bar pattern, some sort of indication that price is ready to go back up, because the dollar is going to go weaker, and theoretically, Ethereum should take advantage of the weaker dollar in the coming days and weeks. All right. Next, what do we have? Someone said GU, and then Kobe said GJR. Perfect. So I've kind of given up on GU the past few weeks, because, like the other majors, it's been arranging. But now let's see. Oh, this is the crypto version. Let's see what GU's doing. Okay, so yeah, GU, we had a long-term bias of going long, right? We wanted to go long once we clear this wick point and this wick point. Right, we created this high back in December of 2019. The market sold off when the pandemic was announced. Price came back up in August, used this price point as resistance, and then sold off. And now we're coming back up to attempt that high. Now that high is at 1.35 thousand, 1.35, a nice clean psychological level. And so we've been waiting for, I think, almost 8 weeks to go long. We're just waiting to get entry. All we need is a daily candle closure above 1.35 thousand. That's all we need. That's all we need. And if we do get that, that should pave the way for a move like this from here all the way up to here, right? We could get that move. And we're just trying to replicate this move over here. That's all we're trying to do. Nothing special, nothing crazy. What we've been doing for the past 3 years, where we're averaging, almost 300 pips a week on 80% accuracy. We're trying to do that, right? Simply replicate this move here. Now with the weaker dollar, this move does seem probable. You can see price is starting to inch closer to that high. I just need confirmation. I just need confirmation on the daily time frame. So on the daily, you can see on the daily we're actually looking to sell off again. So that's why kind of GU's been weird. I know it has its own problems, lockdowns, how they handle COVID, Brexit. So there's other fundamental pressures for GU, and I completely understand. But sooner rather than later, this uptrend which we're in, creating creating higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, we should eventually cross 1.35 thousand, and at that point we should go long. Now GU and GJ are nicely correlated, so if one is doing one thing, the other will kind of mimic that. So for GJ, let's see what we have. So fairly similar, not quite obviously, but you can kind of see, we have this previous sell-off, and now we might start a new sell-off. And then if you go to GJ, we have this previous sell-off, and we might start this sell-off. This is another double top here, and so for the most part, for GJ, I would love for us to clear this high, right up here, this high. If we can clear this high, then we can start looking to go long and target, for example, this high up here, which we made back in September of this year. So that's what I have for GJ. There's also other factors for GJ. You have and this is heavily influenced by how the pandemic is being handled around the world, vaccine news, the elections. Whether Trump concedes or he fights the election. Japanese yen and any safe haven thrives under uncertainty. There's a reason why I've been bearish on the yen for much of this week, and that's because of the release of all these vaccines from Russia, US, showing that should lead weakness in the safe havens, i.e. Japanese yen and Swiss franc, and therefore GJ, Euro Aussie, Euro yen, USD yen should go higher. Obviously, that's not always a perfect correlation. There's technicals still involved, and so we would have to just wait for this high to get cleared. I know GJ is volatile, so if we get like a 4-hour or 8-hour closure above 140.270, we'll have enough volatility and momentum to at least take us to this high. So for next week, we can look at something like this. A nice 2.5 R2R setup, okay? So we just need price to push up and then take us all the way up to this high, and then afterwards we can kind of reevaluate where we're headed next. But this is going to mimic where GU goes. So if GU starts to sell off even more, GJ can make its way back down. This is more volatile. Its current sell-off is a bit more aggressive than GU. If you look at GU, we haven't really started anything too aggressive just yet, but GJ is already ready to go back down to this neckline of the double top. So that's what I have right now. I think we have to stick to the long-term trends and everything that's happening with the dollar, which is the main driving force behind these moves, and then work our way backwards, right? So a weaker GU, then we're going to have a weaker GJ and move that way. If we have a weaker dollar, we're going to have a stronger GU and then a stronger GJ. So that's what has been working for us for all these years, and I know we're in different times right now, but I think the law of averages is going to help us out when we stick to our guns and stick to us working time and time again, all right? So if there's anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I'll let you guys know about our special Black Friday promotion. It's a really good deal, and hopefully you guys take advantage. I'll just take a quick peek at YouTube before I talk about that. Okay, so Lucas has Aussie NZD. All right, so I think that'll be one more pair I'll do. I'm actually happy you brought this up because Aussie NZD, we were actually looking to go short a few times. You can see we're waiting for this low to get broken by price, and price did break it, came up, retested. This has rejected it, and so yeah, just like Euro NZD, this is a nice long-term short. Let me clean up this, and then I'll show you guys the weekly. So this should bode well with our Euro NZD bearish bias. Yeah, so the weekly candle, it's sort of a doji indecision candle where you have a long wick at the bottom and top. So I'd be just a bit cautious about that. But you can see overall, just simple logic will tell you that more than likely we'll either come to these lows right here, we have this wick, this rally, this rally. We either come to this low or we go all the way down to this low, which we created at the start of the pandemic where things were just completely locked down. And so one of the reasons why I'm so bullish on the New Zealand dollar is the way they handled the pandemic. They locked things down immediately, and since then they've reopened. You rarely see people wear masks at the coffee shop. It's almost like a pandemic has never occurred there. And because of that, they have a leg up on all the other Western nations like Canada, US, that have, honestly did a pretty bad job. So I think the technicals show that as well. We're obviously in a downtrend, so I'm going to be looking for shorts. What we can do next week is very simple, and this will get us the best entry, is if we go to the daily, you'll see we've kind of stalled a bit, right around here. We've kind of stalled. Price has just ran out of fizz. It kind of died down. I don't know, if it's just the holiday or what, but let me try to fix this. For some reason, TradingView has not let me make this small. There we go. Okay. So we kind of stalled down here. So all we can do is just wait for next week and wait for a daily candle to officially break this zone. Okay, officially break it. This zone is right near 1.04800. If we can break that like this with a nice down candle, then we can enter short with a nice R2R, and we can just pair this with Euro NZD. Our stop loss will be above the recent high with some breathing room like that. Here will be our first target. We'll have a 1.63 R2R, and then here will be our next target, which is a 3.64 R2R. Hopefully we get a sell-off as quick and as volatile as this one, where we have zero retracements and we're just dropping lower. But obviously that's not up to us, so we're just going to stick with this. So I'd wait for a daily bearish closure below 1.04840 to take this short. Okay, and it's a 3.64 R2R swing trade, which pairs perfectly with our Euro NZD short. All right, so I think that's about our Black Friday promotion. It's a pretty good deal. So I do price action. My friend, my fellow trader, Institute Trader, does smart money. And we go live 2 to 3 times a day, doing live breakdown, live analysis, so you can actually learn the strategy. And on top of that, we give trade ideas, and we have around 10 other signal providers giving signals around the clock. So this way you can learn and earn at the same time. We also have a new portal coming out with a bunch of educational content that's organized in a user-friendly way. We have a position size calculator. We have charts on there. It's going to be crazy. So if you want to join these sessions and not just be limited to the free ones, this is what you can do. This Black Friday promotion, take advantage now because it's a really good deal. So what you do is go to forexlens.com. You go to our Forex trading room. If you want to know what we actually offer, you can go to pricing, and you'll see all of our plans here. This is our monthly, this is our 3-month, this is our yearly plan, our best plan right here. All of our features are here, a lot of content being offered. And what you can do is, if you're ready to sign up, just go to Forex Trading Room, click Get Started, and then choose your plan here. Okay, this is the Black Friday promotion is for the Pro Trader, and it will get you 30% off. So what this will do is you get 30% off the Pro Trader, which is our yearly membership, and you'll get an extra free month of service. So you're getting 13 months of service for 30% off, and all you have to do to take advantage is use this coupon code Black Friday 2020, all caps. So what we do here is you choose the Pro Trader, fill this out with accurate information, hit next, and at the bottom you'll see a enter a coupon code button. If you enter Black Friday 2020, this is a deal you'll get. Very limited time. I think it ends after this weekend. So take advantage on Black Friday and just improve your trading. This is a trade. This is a skill. Learning how to trade that's recession proof, hurricane proof, pandemic proof. It will help you in any economy, in any country. All you need is a device with internet connection. So that's that. If you're not looking to commit too long term just yet, you want to try us out, we have another promotion, and that's the first 50 promotion, which will get you your first month with us for 50% off. So if you go here and you choose the monthly plan, you click next and you enter this coupon code, your first month will be half off. So it'll be $73.50 to get all that content. So that is that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to those that celebrate it. Hopefully I see some new faces in Monday's session and we get some new traders to join us in this